Welcome back to our channel, Coin Enthusiasts. Today we are diving into the fascinating world of Lincoln pennies. These little pieces of history have captured the hearts of collectors and investors alike. Join us as we explore the top 4 Lincoln pennies, uncovering their history, unique features, and current market values. Let's get started. 1949 Wheat Penny. The year 1949 was a time of recovery and growth for the United States. The country was adjusting to post-war life, and the economy was booming. Amidst this backdrop, the U.S. Mint continued its production of the iconic Lincoln Wheat Penny, a staple in American currency since 1909. On the obverse side of the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny, you'll find the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This design has remained largely unchanged since its introduction, symbolizing the enduring legacy of the 16th president. The reverse side features 2 wheat ears flanking the denomination 1 cent and the inscription United States of America. This classic design is why these coins are commonly referred to as wheat pennies. The 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The mint mark, located below the date on the obverse side, indicates where the coin was produced. Philadelphia pennies have no mint mark, while Denver and San Francisco pennies are marked with a D and S respectively. Here's a quick look at the mintage numbers for the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny. Philadelphia approximately 217 million. Denver approximately 153 million. San Francisco approximately 64 million. These numbers give us a sense of the coin's availability and potential rarity. The value of a 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny varies significantly based on its condition. Coins in good condition might be worth a few cents, while those in mint state or uncirculated condition can fetch higher prices. Factors such as luster, strike quality, and the presence of any errors or unique features also play a crucial role in determining a coin's value. Speaking of errors, keep an eye out for any anomalies on your 1949 Wheat Pennies. Errors like double dies, repunched mint marks, or off-center strikes can significantly increase a coin's value. These rare finds are often sought after by collectors and can command premium prices. 1924 Wheat Penny. The 1924 Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Let's break down each variant and their unique aspects. The 1924 Philadelphia Mint Penny, with no mint mark, had a mintage of over 75 million coins. Despite its high mintage, finding one in pristine condition can be a challenge due to circulation wear. The 1924 D, minted in Denver, had a significantly lower mintage of about 2.5 million. These are rarer and more sought after by collectors, especially in higher grades. The 1924 S from San Francisco saw a mintage of around 11 million. Similar to the Denver Mint, higher grade examples are quite valuable due to the lower mintage. Now let's talk about the design. The obverse features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse showcases 2 wheat ears, hence the name Wheat Penny and the words 1 cent in United States of America. Brenner's initials, VDB, can be found on some of the earlier 1909 issues, but not on the 1924 versions. The initial question, what's the value of a 1924 but in a much smaller font? The value varies significantly based on the mint and the coin's condition. For the 1924 Philadelphia Mint Penny, values range from around 50 cents in good condition to about $30 in mint state. The 1924 D can fetch between $20 in good condition to over $1,000 in mint state. Finally, the 1924 S ranges from $1 in good condition to several $100s in mint state. 1928 Wheat Penny. The 1928 Lincoln Wheat Penny is a remarkable piece of American numismatic history. Minted during a period of economic prosperity, just before the onset of the Great Depression, this coin holds a unique place in the timeline of U.S. coinage. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series, designed by Victor David Brenner, was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The 1928 penny continued the tradition with its iconic design, featuring Let's take a closer look on the obverse and 2 wheat stalks on the reverse. On the obverse, we have the enduring image of President Abraham Lincoln, along with the inscriptions "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the year 1928. Brenner's initials, VDB, can be seen on the shoulder of Lincoln's bust. On the reverse, the wheat ears flank the inscriptions 1 cent in United States of America with the Latin motto "E pluribus unum" above. This classic design was used from 1909 to 1958, and remains a favorite among collectors. In 1928, these pennies were minted at 3 locations: Philadelphia no mint mark, Denver D mint mark, and San Francisco S mint mark. The Philadelphia Mint produced the most, with over 134 million coins, while the Denver and San Francisco mints produced significantly fewer, making the D and S mint mark coins more sought after by collectors. 1944 Wheat Penny. The 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny has a rich history tied to the events of World War II. In 1943, the U.S. Mint temporarily switched from copper to zinc-coated steel for penny production due to copper shortages during the war. However, in 1944, the mint returned to using copper, specifically recycled shell casings from the war effort. This resulted in the 1944 penny being composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc. This decision not only marked the end of the steel penny, but also symbolized the country's resilience and ability to adapt during a time of global conflict. Today, these pennies are cherished not just for their historical significance, but also for their unique story. The 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted at 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint produced the most coins with no mint mark, while the Denver and San Francisco mints produced pennies marked with a D and S respectively. While most 1944 pennies are common, some varieties are rarer and can be worth more. For example, look out for the 1944 D over S error, where the Denver mint mark was accidentally struck over an existing San Francisco mint mark. These rare varieties are highly sought after by collectors. Now let's talk about value. The 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny is relatively common, but its value can vary greatly depending on its condition and rarity. Here's a breakdown of what you can expect. Good condition. Typically, a 1944 penny in good condition is worth around 5 to 10 cents. Fine to very fine condition in these grades, the value increases to around 25 cents to $1. Extremely fine condition here, you might see values ranging from $1 to $3. In circulated condition, if you have a 1944 penny in uncirculated condition, it could be worth anywhere from $5 to $15 or more, depending on the mint mark and overall quality. For the rare 1944 D over S variety, values can skyrocket, with some examples fetching hundreds of dollars depending on the grade. 1945 Wheat Penny. The 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted during a pivotal time in American history right at the tail end of World War II. With resources tight and the nation focused on the war effort, copper, which was typically used in these pennies, was in high demand. However, unlike the steel pennies minted in 1943 due to copper shortages, the 1945 pennies were made from the traditional 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc alloy. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series was introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Victor D. Brenner's iconic design features Lincoln's profile on the obverse, which was the first time a U.S. coin featured a real person's likeness. On the reverse, you'll find the classic wheat ears that gave this penny its nickname. The wheat ears on the reverse symbolize America's agricultural strength and prosperity during a time when the nation was recovering from the Great Depression and enduring the trials of World War II. In 1945, the Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Over 1 billion pennies were produced that year, making it one of the more common issues in the series. The mint marks can be found just below the date on the obverse side. Pennies minted in Philadelphia have no mint mark. Those from Denver are marked with a D, and San Francisco pennies carry an S. While the 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny is generally common, certain varieties and errors can make these coins more valuable. For example, look out for any doubling on the date or letters, known as a double die error. Off-center strikes or repunched mint marks are also sought after by collectors and can increase the value significantly. 1946 Wheat Penny. The 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny holds a special place in U.S. history. It was minted just after World War II, a time of significant change and optimism for the country. The war had ended in 1945, and by 1946, the U.S. was transitioning back to a peacetime economy. This penny was a symbol of hope and renewal. The Lincoln Wheat Penny series itself began in 1909, designed by Victor David Brenner to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The wheat ears on the reverse side were meant to symbolize growth and prosperity, themes that were particularly relevant in the post-war era of 1946. Now let's take a closer look at the design. The obverse or front side of the 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny features the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln. His bust faces right with the words "In God We Trust" arching above his head. To his left, you'll find the word liberty, and to his right, the date 1946. The reverse side showcases the 2 wheat ears flanking the words 1 cent above. The phrase United States of America is boldly inscribed. Just below the country's name, you'll see the Latin phrase e pluribus unum, which means out of many one. The 1946 Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted in 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Most of these pennies were struck in Philadelphia, which means they have no mint mark. If you come across one with a D under the date, it was minted in Denver, and an S indicates it was minted in San Francisco. In terms of rarity, the Philadelphia Mint produced the most, with over 991 million pennies, making them the most common. Denver minted about 315 million, while San Francisco produced the fewest, with around 198 million. While the 1946 penny isn't particularly rare, its value can vary based on its condition and mint mark. Now let's talk about value, what everyone is eager to know. The value of a 1946 Lincoln wheat penny can range from just a few cents to several dollars depending on its condition and mint mark. Circulated condition. In a well-circulated condition, these pennies are quite common and typically worth between 3 to 10 cents. Uncirculated condition. If you have an uncirculated or mint state coin, the value increases. A mint state 1946 penny can fetch anywhere from $5 to $10 or more. Key factors that increase the value include strong luster, minimal wear, and a clear strike. Coins with the S mint mark from San Francisco, especially in higher grades, tend to be more valuable. 1951 wheat penny. The Lincoln wheat penny series is one of the most iconic in U.S. coinage, minted from 1909 to 1958. The 1951 Lincoln wheat penny holds a unique place in this series. But before we dive into its value, let's take a quick look at the historical context of this coin. The year 1951 was part of the post-World War II era, a time of economic growth and social change in the United States. Coins like the 1951 Lincoln wheat penny were common in circulation, used in everyday transactions as the American economy continued to boom. This penny was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint struck the majority of these coins, while Denver and San Francisco mints produced smaller quantities. Now let's examine the coin itself. The obverse side of the 1951 Lincoln wheat penny features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. You'll notice the words "In God We Trust" arching above Lincoln's head, with liberty on the left side and the year 1951 on the right. Flip into the reverse side, we see 2 wheat stalks, one on each side, framing the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America below. This is the motto E Pluribus Unum. This design has earned the penny its nickname, the wheat penny. Now, the moment you've been waiting for: how much is your 1951 Lincoln wheat penny worth today? The value of this coin depends on several factors, including its condition, mint mark, and rarity. In general, circulated 1951 pennies from the Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, are valued at around 3 to 10 cents, depending on their condition. Uncirculated examples can range from $1 to $5. If your penny has a D mint mark from Denver or an S mint mark from San Francisco, you're looking at a similar value range. 1944 wheat penny. Ed by Victor David Brenner. What makes the 1944 penny particularly fascinating is its role during World War II and the significant changes in its production. During World War II, the United States faced a shortage of copper, which was needed for the war effort. As a result, the mint transitioned from using copper to a different material for the Lincoln penny, steel-coated with zinc, in 1943. But by 1944, copper was available again and the mint resumed using it. The 1944 Lincoln penny was struck using the copper that was originally slated for shell casings, which gives it an interesting backstory. It was minted in 3 different locations: Philadelphia no mint mark, Denver D mint mark, and San Francisco S mint mark. Each mint produced a different quantity of these coins. Let's talk design. The obverse features Abraham Lincoln, a tribute to the 16th President of the United States. The reverse showcases the wheat sheaves, which give the coin its nickname, the wheat penny. This design remained unchanged from 1909 until 1958. Remember to check for the mint mark on the reverse side of the coin just below the 1 cent inscription. The mint mark indicates where the coin was minted. If you have a 1944 penny with no mint mark, it was minted in Philadelphia. AD means it was minted in Denver, and an S stands for San Francisco. Now on to the most exciting part: value. The 1944 Lincoln penny is relatively common compared to some other vintage coins, but its value can vary based on condition and mint mark. 1944, no mint mark, typically worth between $0.30 to $1 in average condition. In high-grade, uncirculated condition, it can fetch up to $20 or more. 1944D. This variety is slightly more common in value, between $0.30 to $2, with higher grades reaching up to $15. 1944S. The San Francisco minted pennies are somewhat rarer, and their value ranges from $0.50 to $3, with uncirculated examples reaching up to $30. To get a precise value for your 1944 penny, you should consider its condition. Coins are graded from poor P1 to mint state MS70, with higher grades commanding higher prices. A professional coin grading service can provide an accurate assessment if you have a particularly valuable coin. 1958 wheat penny. The 1958 Lincoln wheat penny is a significant coin in U.S. history, as it was the last year the Lincoln wheat penny design was minted. The Lincoln wheat penny, also known simply as the wheat penny, was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this penny features Lincoln's profile on the obverse and 2 wheat stalks on the reverse, symbolizing America's agricultural heritage. By 1958, the Lincoln wheat penny had been in circulation for nearly 50 years, and its design was about to be replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. The 1958 penny therefore represents the final chapter in the long and storied history of the wheat penny series. Let's talk about the minting details. The 1958 Lincoln wheat penny was minted in two locations, Philadelphia and Denver. If you look closely at your 1958 penny, you might notice a small demint mark under the date. This indicates that the coin was minted in Denver. If there's no mint mark, then it was minted in Philadelphia. The Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 252 million of these coins, while the Denver Mint struck around 800 million. That's a combined total of over 1 billion pennies. Given the high mintage, the 1958 wheat penny isn't rare, but it does have some interesting aspects to consider when determining its value. So, what's a 1958 Lincoln wheat penny worth today? The value of this coin varies based on its condition and mint mark. In circulated condition, most 1958 pennies are worth about 3 to 10 cents. However, if you have a coin in uncirculated condition with a grade of MS65 or higher, it could be worth $10 to $15. The real value comes into play with proof coins or those with rare errors. For instance, a proof 1958 penny, which was struck for collectors rather than for general circulation, can fetch anywhere from $15 to $30. And if you happen to come across a 1958 penny with a rare error, such as a double die, the value could skyrocket into the hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Speaking of errors, one of the most sought-after error coins from 1958 is the double die obverse. This rare error occurs when the die used to strike the coins has been engraved twice, resulting in a noticeable doubling of the design elements, especially in the lettering and date. Only a few of these error coins are known to exist, and they can be incredibly valuable, sometimes selling for tens of thousands of dollars at auction. So if you have a 1958 wheat penny, it's definitely worth giving it a closer look. You never know, you might just have a rare gem hiding in your collection.